Hi everyone, my name is Andrea Haston. I am majoring in environmental engineering, therefore I decided to give an informative speech on water treatment plants and their processes. I know that doesn't sound like the most exciting speech to listen to, however it is very important for people to know where their water is coming from, the water we drink, the water we shower in, wash our hands in, everything to that effect. I wanted to give you a few fun facts that show just how important water truly is. Our Earth, or our world, is made up of 70% of water. 97% of that is salt water. 2% of it is glaciers, ice, frozen water that we can't use, and then 1% or less is water that we can actually drink. 75% of our brain is made of water, and 70% of our skin is water. When we talk about water treatment plants, it's a cool fact to know that 79,000 tons of chlorine are used annually in the US and in Canada. It's crazy to know, but it is important that we have clean drinking water. Water is crucial to an everyday life. I'm actually interning at a engineering firm this summer, and I've gotten the privilege of being able to work on a project for a water treatment plant and kind of going over how everything works and talking to them about everything. So I'd like to explain this to you. So basically what happens is, in a water treatment plant is different from a wastewater treatment plant. Wastewater is our feces, our urine, things like that, and that's not what I'm going to talk about today. I'm talking about water treatment plants. These treatment plants are from our surface water. So lakes, rivers, any kind of surface water you can think of, this is what goes into our treatment plants. So basically what happens is there's a huge pipe that gravity takes to the treatment plant. From the pipe into the treatment plant, the solids, or the big particles, are gotten rid of from screens and things like that. So all the big particles are gone. It enters into a flocculation tank. Basically what that means, sounds like a big word. All the particles, all the little particles, organic particles, fish poop, dirt, grains, anything like that, they need to be all bunched up together to become bigger particles. So what they do is they add polymers and, trying to remind myself, ferric sulfate. Those are the two chemicals that they put into the water so that it all clumps up together. And it goes through a maze type cement walls that mix all of this in together. So by the time it gets to the end of this flocculation tank, all of the particles are clumped together and combined. What happens from there is that water exits out of the flocculation tank through like 10-inch holes and goes into a sedimentation tank. From here, you can actually see the clumps going like at the top of the water in the front of the tank. It's a fairly long basin is what they call it. What happens is it's a 2-hour process, and all the water is pushed to the back of this sedimentation tank. By the time it gets to the back of the sedimentation tank, all of those clumped together particles have fallen to the bottom. And so what there's a rake on the bottom that rakes the bottom of this sedimentation tank and brings all of those particles up to the front, where there's a trough or a trench that captures all of those particles in the front of the sedimentation tank. So then there's a pump that grabs all of these particles, and it's just pumped into a pond nearby. Even the huge particles at the beginning that were taken out by screens and things to that effect all go into this pond. So hence, don't ever go swimming or fishing near a water treatment plant because it's not very clean at all. There's nasty poop, sewage, anything you can think of in that pond. So beware and stay away. So basically from the sedimentation tank, this water goes into an underground tank. So this is a thousands and thousands of gallons tank. The one I work at right now is 30,000 gallons. And this is where your chlorine is added into the tank so that we can drink it. Chlorine is the disinfection. After everything's been taken out, this is the disinfection process. There's many other ways to disinfect, and other companies may use this, but for this specific company that I'm working for, they use chlorine, which is the main way to do it. Most people do it that way. It's the cheapest, effective way to do it. You can do UV rays, which literally is what it sounds like, a UV lamp cleaning the water. There's ozone, which is just gases in your water, and then there's activated carbon filters, which is what you use if you have a pure water on your sink faucet, or if you have a water jug that you put water in and it cleans out all your water for you. That is an activated carbon filter. But for most water treatment plants, they do use chlorine. So when you have this big tank full of water, all the chlorine's in it, people do have to go in there. It's kind of a fun fact. People have to get sprayed down by chlorine to actually enter into this tank so it's not infected. This water from this tank then goes to residential use, drinking, into our sinks, showers, things to that effect. But basically that's it. Not always the most exciting thing to hear, but it is interesting to know what you're drinking, or if you drink out of the tap, where it comes from. It is clean, but it's fun to know, and it's fun to be able to tell people how exactly it worked. So I hope you enjoyed, and y'all have a wonderful summer.